In this video, traders, we're going to look at the market is rigged, or is it? Stay tuned. Hey guys, a warm welcome to you. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to cut right to the chase. I am a little bit tired of a lot of traders blaming the market for their performance. Listen, we all go through the same journey. We all struggle as traders. We all lose money initially. We all think that this is a game that we cannot win. Everybody goes through that. But the difference between the trader in here and the difference between the trader up here is that the trader up here or anywhere past that on the journey up there is that they know that this game isn't about the market. It's about them. It's not about blaming the market. Too often I hear, well, the market's rigged. The market took my stop out. The market did. If you truly believe that that is the case, I'm going to get to that in a second, then why don't you just trade against that? If you truly believe that all the time your stops are taken out by a rigged market, why not put your entries where your stops are and take advantage of that? Use it to your advantage. Trade the other side of the deal. Look where retail is clustered and trade against retail. Stop putting your stops where every other trader is putting it, under a key level or above a high, a few ticks above a high. Give yourself more room. Don't get into a trade unless it does go above the high. Why not try entering where you're going to put your stop? If you truly believe the market is rigged, use it to your advantage. Listen, if you could tell me something's rigged, I'd be like, great. Well, game theory, what are they trying to achieve? What are they trying to do? And trade with it. But off on a tangent slightly, if you could imagine, if you genuinely thought the market was rigged, would hedge funds not be making blisteringly great returns? Would we not see specific funds just killing it? We even see the big funds out there, the big names that are struggling. They're reducing their staff. They have boom years, they have years they're not so great. Now, I know there are funds out there that have had insider trading. I recognize that. There's going to be that in there. There's going to be times when things are rigged. On a small scale, guys, we're talking very, very small scale. Generally speaking, and I know there are going to be some examples in the comments about, you know, the collusion where you're rigging the spot price of this and that. Yes, I know that there are these circumstances, but on generally speaking, percentage wise, the market is a reasonably fair guide and auction process. If you're a buyer, you go in, you buy. If there's a seller, a deal's done. If you want to buy a lot, you're going to move the price higher. If you're going to sell a lot, you're going to move the price lower. Our job as traders is to analyze that. And let's say, for example, the market was rigged. What's the advantage of rigging it? Rigging it means that someone wants to make money from it, right? There's no other way or advantage to rigging something apart from making money in some way or another. But to do that, they've got to put a position on. So if you believe that, why not follow the big money? Why don't you follow the big options trades and trade off that? If you think that that's got a positive expectancy and it's rigged, and some people do, some people think that's a positive expectancy, then trade off the big option trades coming through some of the stocks and just coattail those. Or trade when you see large volume of orders coming through specific stocks in the actual stock or in the actual shares, and then follow those in the coattails, pre-earnings. Some people say that that's a strategy that works for them. If you believe that's the case, don't be the victim of it. Take it, flip it on its head and go on the attack and say, right, well, if I believe that's the case, and you genuinely do, then there's a strategy that works for you that you can use to your advantage. And if you believe it, you're going to find it very easy to run that strategy, because you're going to say, right, well, I think that pre-earnings, people know what the earnings are going to be, and we've got a lot of insider dealing. If that is something you think is right, and I'm not saying it's not, if you think it is, then use it to your advantage. Trade with the movement with pre-earnings, leverage on it and make money from it. The thing that you shouldn't be doing, and the thing that, listen guys, been here, done it, everyone's been in this situation of saying, well, you know, every time I get stopped out, market goes to my level and stops me out. It's only because the liquidity vacuum and the kind of test of price. You know, if you look, and we talk back, I've talked the story about this before, in the pit, you used to have big locals in the pit, the S&P 500 pit, they would push the market to highs and through lows because they knew that it would cause a lot of liquidity, and that could use that liquidity to get out. I know it's a kind of smaller version of the market, but that's the game. The game isn't necessarily that. It's just because price, people are waiting and necessarily not being pushed necessarily, but maybe there's liquidity going to be there which they could feed into and start selling into it and getting a better price. So they're not rigging it, they're just using their order flow to their advantage in some circumstances. But the main theme of this, guys, is to not be the victim of this and not blame it for something, because the trouble is, if you blame it on that, then you're saying I don't have any control of my trading. If you accept the market is what it is, and yes, I admit, as I say, there are small sections which aren't quite as genuine as they could be, but majority speaking, the rules are the same for us all. We place our trades, we buy, we sell, we win, we lose over time. Hopefully, we're going to be up on the quarter, up on the year, up on the decade, up on whatever it is. And so by blaming the market as being rigged is a get out of jail free card. It's like, it's not my fault, the market's rigged, there's no way I can make money. If you admit that the way that you make money, the way that you improve on your trading, is by your improvement and dealing with what you've got in front of you, dealing with the situation you've got in front of you and making it work to your advantage, then you'll be in a much more powerful position. Because from a mental perspective as well, you're like, well, I can control that. I can control my habits. I can adjust my strategy. I can adjust how I react. And I can then get into and surf the waves of the market. And I can be in the current of the market as opposed to fighting it and assuming it's rigged and then blaming the market when I'm wrong, because it's very easy to do that because we can't do anything to change that. So anyway, guys, a little bit of a rant maybe, but I've seen this so many times, people saying market's rigged, market's this, market that, and I just wanted to give my kind of 2 pence worth on it. And I'm interested to hear what you guys have got to say about this, because we hear it all the time. And you know what? In fact, maybe there's someone out there who believes it's rigged. I'd love to see, you know, what your counter argument is to in the comment section below. But if you agree with me as well, then I also want to see your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. As always, appreciate your subscriptions, likes, shares, maybe dislikes on this video. Let's see. Take care anyway, guys. Bye-bye.